right. I think we're live here. So this is Josh Shanley with eXp Realty, and I have Jacqueline Ferentinos. Did I say that right?
Yes.
All right. And Jacqueline and her husband Steve are the owners of Valley Bistro in Enola in Hampden Township. And the reason I asked her on today is their food is phenomenal and the service is phenomenal. But B, they are reopening this Monday after being temporarily closed because of everything that's going on. And so I wanted to help create some buzz and make sure to spread the word so that everybody in our community is aware of the fact that you're reopening and some changes you're doing to adapt and adjust to what's going on. Before we get into that, though, for the small percentage of people in Central PA that maybe haven't heard of Valley Bistro, why don't you give us just a little quick background on how you got started and what kind of food and just kind of some basic information for those that may not already know.
Sure. Well, first of all, I'd like to say thank you so much for, including me in on this. We are very seriously missing being open and our customers. The one thing I say all the time is that our customers are really the best. And I truly mean that. Not only do we love being here, but we love being a part of the community. I myself grew up in the restaurant business. I worked in the restaurant my entire life, all through college. Even after college, I have a master's degree in clinical and counseling psychology. And in 2011, my husband and I bought our first restaurant, which was in Midtown Harrisburg. At the same time, I found out that I was pregnant. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah. So while he and I ran that together for as long as I could, I ended up staying home, for 8 years to have my children. In the interim there, we moved to Baltimore and my husband opened up a restaurant as well, but I had nothing really to do with that because I was home with the kids. And my little guy started preschool last year. And I said, you know what? I really just miss the restaurant business. And so those of us who are in it, you kind of either love it or hate it. And I happen to be one that absolutely loves working in this restaurant. So I said to my husband, who was in corporate and high in corporate, I said, you know what, let me just do this. Let me do something small, limited hours so that we can still, raise our children who are still small.
Yeah.
And he said, you know what? Yeah, definitely. He supported me. We found our current location, which at the time we were just renting. And Valley Bistro was born. So I knew what I wanted, and that was that I wanted to be something very different. And initially, our menu had the different things, but then it had, your very common things that people can get almost anywhere.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know how we would be perceived, were people going to like these kind of off the wall, unique things, or was it, not really for this area? So we started testing the waters with our specials, and now, people will call us on Tuesday if they're not up by like 10 a.m., let's say. People are like, what are your specials? So people look forward to it. And, it just took off. It took off crazy. We opened in September. By January, we had plans on buying the building. We purchased the building in June. And then the following August, we started renovations for our catering and event center next door. And we've just been running with it since. So, yeah.
So awesome. So awesome. And by the way, for those of you wondering why I'm looking, I've been looking down. I'm trying to monitor to make sure, that it's working, because you never know when you're doing these, and to see the comments and so forth. And we already have comments. Jan Hughes says, so glad this is a great place with the best food. Diane Muma says, the best. We love you guys. Can't wait to eat at Valley Bistro again. And we've got a bunch of other. If you're excited that Valley Bistro is opening back up, give at a minimum a thumbs up. And if you're feeling really excited, give it the heart emoji. Because we are definitely excited. In fact, one of my favorite social media things that I look forward to is the post where you post the specials for the week. Cause then we're like, it's just like my wife is usually like messaging me, like, did you see these or vice versa? And our kids are like, what, even especially my one daughter, she always asks like what the breakfast special is.
Well, it's so funny you say that because we definitely wanted to have a place where kids wanted to come.
Yeah.
So when you create certain specials like Grinch pancakes or Valentine's Day pancakes, you know, as a parent, if your kid wants to go somewhere to eat, you're going to go.
Right.
So, you know, and now with the new menu rolling out, we wanted to open up with a bang. So we were like, you know what? We've kind of taken what a lot of people have suggested or what they've liked or the specials that they've really loved, and we've now made the menu that we've always wanted, you know, the super urban type feel to it, not your typical food.
Yeah.
And people always ask me, like, where do you come up with this? Honestly, it's just keeping on top of the trends, doing research, making things at home with my family. That's just kind of really how it happens.
Yeah. Now, I know I've seen you mention a new menu. Is the menu published anywhere as of yet, or is that are we building anticipation till Monday?
Yeah, no, if we were going to open, we were going to open with a bang. So the new menu now is listed on our website,
Okay.
Google, Yelp, and Foursquare. So
I'm going to share my screen just for 1 second to show people. Let me get out of this here. This is, so if you're wondering, their website is valleybistroenola.com, valleybistroenola.com. And their Facebook page is facebook.com/Valley Bistro Enola. So you can go and like their page. You can check out their site. The new menu is on here, which I should have found ahead of time. But now I have something fun to do after the call is check out the menu. So very cool, very cool. And so we're the opening up as we're recording this live. It's Friday, April 24th, I think.
yeah,
Every day feels like Groundhog Day, so I kind of lose track of what's going on. But Monday, the 27th, right, is when you're reopening.
yes.
And new hours as well.
Yeah, I mean, I probably within the month of opening, we have been asked continuously, when are you going to open up for dinner? My response has always been is, you know, because of our children, we like to kind of partake in all their after school activities. We help coach soccer and we want to be very involved. And we do a lot of catering. So our catering takes up our evenings and our weekends. But what better time to kind of help the community? We feel that, you know, with everything going on and limitations, let's open for dinner. You know, a lot of people have been hitting me up since we've been closed about, you know, making private meals for them or caterings that they would love us to do for like the local EMS and the police department, Hershey ICU. So we are actually hitting the ground running on Monday. We have a lot of caterings that are happening with the local community as well. So we're like, let's open longer and see what happens. Who knows?
Right on. Right on. So for those of you listening, whether you're listening live or after the fact, we would love to hear in the comments, what is your favorite menu item? Either one of two things, either your favorite menu item from the past, or if you've seen the new menu, which one you're most excited for. Post that in the comments. That'll be fun to check out. So you've mentioned a couple of times, I want to go off restaurant for a little bit. You mentioned a couple of times your family and so forth. And I can't remember, how many kids do you have?
I have 3.
3. Okay, awesome. And oldest to youngest are?
So Gianna's the oldest. She will be 9 in May. Stella had a quarantine birthday in March.
Oh, wow.
She is now 6. And then my youngest son, Maximus, he will be 5 in September.
Great name.
Yeah.
Great name. That is awesome. And Gianna, I remember our 8-year-old daughter played against Gianna in hoops, CV basketball hoops. So that's pretty cool. So for those wondering, you know, given the current state of coronavirus and COVID-19 and so forth, what precautions are you guys taking and anticipating with reopening to kind of address those concerns that folks may have?
Sure. So first and foremost, all my staff will be masked at all times, even during food preparation and cooking. When we initially were open, when this whole thing went down, we allowed people in the restaurant to pick up their food. And we found, and one of the reasons that we closed is at the time people weren't taking it too serious. So they would come in and kind of hang out, look at the menu, when our intention all along was, order your food, come in, pick it up, and go. So what we've decided to do at this point now is we're just going to offer curbside and delivery, of course. All sanitary precautions will be made with, being our staff having gloves and their masks, sanitizer. And we're just going to ask people to either pay over the phone, or the good thing about our system is we can always take the system out to the car for them and they can use their card if they would like, but everything will be done to accommodate them so that no one has to get out and come in.
Awesome. Awesome. And we are getting some comments. Oh,
sorry, I didn't last comment.
Okay, got you. Cauliflower crust anything, Diane says.
Oh, yes.
I said, yeah.
I know that everything I put on special on that cauliflower crust, Diane will definitely get. I always think of her.
That's funny. So I don't want to keep you too long, because one of the things that we talked about before we went live is how you make everything fresh, and you guys are prepping already for Monday. So maybe talk about that and the fresh, just play that up a little bit, because I don't think that's common in a lot of restaurants, local or not.
Sure. So, our tagline is creative, fresh, delicious. And I always try to stress that to people. Sometimes people will say, well, we can get this somewhere else for a little less or whatever. Well, I always tell them that it takes a lot of power and hours to make things from scratch. So, the one thing I have to say first and foremost is the staff that I have working with me, most of them have been with me from the very beginning.
Yeah.
They know exactly how we have things we would like. So when my husband and I come up with something, we show it to them, they write down their recipes and they mimic it and they do it well. So at this point now we're almost a year and a half in, they know kind of what we like. We even down to the plate presentation, but I always say that my staff is awesome and they rock it out with us. We make everything. So now opening on Monday, we make everything from our hollandaise, our dressings, all of our meats are fresh. We support local farms. Bacon comes from a farm, our eggs. I mean, if we don't make it in-house, I promise you that where we get it from is very great.
Yeah.
So some people will say, do you make all your desserts? I wish I had the time to. Initially, when we opened, I did. I don't. And the one thing I'm not really good at doing is the gluten-free desserts. So we do get them from a local bakery in Reading. But yeah, I mean, my staff is going to be here. 12 o'clock, we have our staff meeting going over everything new, all of the safety precautions that we're going to put in place. And then we're going to hit the ground running with starting to prep everything.
Right on. Well, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to come in for a landing here so we can let you get back to prep. But I wanted to say thank you so much for coming on here. I want to urge anyone watching this, again, whether live or after the fact, that if you haven't checked out Valley Bistro already, that you check them out. And if you have, I'm sure you're excited to be able to go back and support them and have that as an option for your family starting on Monday. I know that we're, again, so excited for that. Lastly, I want to say if you or someone watching this would like to be featured on one of these small business spotlights, send me a private message and I'd be happy to do that as well. We want to continue to help support in any way possible the small business owners that support our community here in Hampden Township, in Cumberland County, and Central PA at large. So thank you so much, Jacqueline, for your time.
Josh, and to everyone watching or who's going to watch, we miss you all and we cannot wait for Monday and we hope to see you soon.
Right on. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Take care.